Kannon here with Kannon Studios, and as promised, I'm going to be doing my review video on the Elegoo Saturn. I've spent a week so far with the Saturn, and I got to go ahead and print some of our own models in studio here that I'd like to share with you guys. I will also be comparing the Saturn to my Mars Pro. So I'm excited to share with you guys this week some different things that I printed throughout the week for a costume I'm working on, which is based on Devil Mercy. So I did different prints with some translucent resin as well as just regular resin. And I also have some videos with printing with translucent resin if you're interested in coloring and dyeing it. Of course, there's always more to learn and expand on with the many possibilities of resin printing, but having clear resin as an option for a cosplayer is a really great opportunity because you don't have to mess with complicating molds to get something like this that's clear. So these translucent resin pieces are going to fit inside the horns, and those horns are going to be printed in segments, which will then be assembled together like so, with all the insides which will be lit, and we'll see how it ends up going. I haven't actually cured these pieces yet because I'm currently still coloring them, and when I get the lights I'll kind of determine how dark or what other colors I would like to have. So I'm kind of just waiting on that at the moment. And a print like this takes about 12 hours, which in the 3D printing world is actually pretty fast. You can still get nice little small details, and it's nice to have your model and then you can design your gems to kind of fit in there, so you can kind of get the whole thing, which saves a lot of different materials as a cosplayer, a lot of different tools. As a cosplayer, I think it's a good investment because you can get really clean work. You can have one machine, kind of do all your prop, accessories, gems, and everything all in one spot, and it can be very small. So I'm sure you're wondering what the differences are between the Mars Pro and the Saturn, so I'm going to go ahead and run down some key differences between the two. So with our Saturn here, not only is it faster, which is about 60% faster than the Mars, each layer takes about 1 to 3 seconds because of its brighter light versus the 6 to 8 seconds. So not only is our Saturn here faster, but also the LCD screen is a 4K resolution where the Mars is a 2K resolution. So you're thinking definitely the Saturn is a better way to go. You get bigger prints, it's faster, better resolution, but let me go ahead and run down some differences that I really like about the Mars that didn't maybe get carried over to the Saturn. There's small differences that are easy to fix, so it's not a big deal. I'm still definitely Team Saturn over here. But one difference is the Mars came with leveling feet, which you can screw, which is super convenient to get your printer leveled. However, makers have come up with different things to where you can print out your own. And another very minor difference is the Mars comes with this accessory for the build plate, which you can put your print on here and turn it to the side so it can set and have the runoff resin go into your vat. However, the Saturn doesn't really come with one of these. Again, not really a huge issue. You can print your own, and makers have already come up with a few different designs that you can go ahead and check out and print yourself. And one of the other things I noticed is on the Pro, they did move the USB drive to the front instead of the original Mars, which was in the back, which was really nice for the Mars Pro to have that in the front, which is a lot easier than sticking the USB drive in the back every time. So on the Saturn, it's still better than it being in the back, but it is over here on the side, and it also has 2 fans instead of the 1 to compensate for its overall size. So you're probably thinking, how much does one of these cost? What's it going to run me versus the Mars? Well, the price is a big difference considering the upgrade that it is. It makes sense where the price range ranges. So for mine, I got mine for $400 on pre-order. However, they're estimated to be about $500 to $600 once they hit the market and become available again. If you want a Mars Pro, I believe right now you can get one available for about $200 if I remember correctly. The price has dropped, so it is a really good deal, and I still think the Mars is an excellent printer, especially if you want to just make small stuff or have something to start out with. So as I mentioned before, I already have a video of setting up the Saturn and getting started. So from here, you can pour in your resin and do your print, and once you're done, I'm just going to show the process from here on out. So we're just going to go ahead and take my print off here very, very, very carefully. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this thing off carefully like this. And as you can see, this is the magnetic part, which just sticks on there, and then you can have your prints on separate plates. I also got one for my Mars, a mini version, which are super useful. So I'm just going to loosely pop it off of there by just kind of flexing it a little bit here to loosen it up. So I know I'm not wearing a mask while I'm doing this. It's just because I'm shooting the video. Don't forget about your safety. Wear gloves, wear a mask, maybe even wear goggles. If you're worried about splashback, you really don't want this stuff in your eyes. So I like to give that disclaimer out. So personally, when I do really, really big prints like this and there's no fragile pieces, before I cure it, I like to take the supports off first. So the advantage of these plates is you can kind of set them off really quickly and you don't have to use the scraper, which is nice. And since I'm taking this piece off separately, the supports, it's not cured yet, so be sure to still cure it before throwing it away if you don't hold on to your supports, or maybe you collect it for artwork or whatever you want to do. I thought about giving away my supports to my supporters because they support me. I don't quite have a big enough vat yet to clean off my prints. I still have a small one, so it's a little bit tricky. So the reason why I like taking the supports off early is you definitely get a lot cleaner. Otherwise, you can use your snips here and snip it off. If the print is a little bit more fragile and it risks morphing because it's maybe really skinny pieces and things like that, I'll cure it first and then do that process. This is just something I like to do. Again, don't forget to cure your excess resin before throwing it out. And I really like this build plate. The advantage is if I was doing something like that and I had a really big print on there, not only does it protect your overall build plate, but you can easily slip it off, throw on another one, and start printing right away without waiting to have to clean it all up and get started again. So be sure to check out the links below. I kind of have most of everything listed except for the Saturn, obviously, because it's still in pre-order, unfortunately. But I'm sure when they come out soon, hopefully you can grab one. I think they have a waiting list. If you're interested, you can sign up on the waiting list. If you really want one, I highly recommend it. And pretty much to clean this up, I soak it in alcohol, and I have my nice fluffy brush here that I kind of brush all the excess off and then cure inside with my UV light. So the advantage of these to pop them off is you don't have to use the scraper. And if you do have to use the scraper, if you don't have one of those, I recommend the plastic ones over the metal one that they give you because it can damage your build plate. So I really want to thank you guys for coming and checking out my video of my overall review of the Saturn. I don't really have any other printers, resin printers to compare it to. I was actually recommended the Mars, and since I really had a good experience with it and I liked it a lot, I went ahead and stuck with the Saturn, which I also have had really good experiences with. And the reason why it was recommended to me is because you don't really have to tinker with it a lot. You don't really have to set up. You kind of get it pretty much already assembled. I haven't really had any problems with it. I haven't had any errors from my personal experiences. And I don't really have a lot of field prints or anything like that. So overall, I would say it's pretty easy. If you're proficient, you can just put on your printer, hit print, go do your other stuff in your studio, whatever you want to do in the day, come back later, finish, pop it off, clean it up. So overall, super easy. So if you've been enjoying my YouTube videos, please hang out longer. Feel free to sub. I have so much more to come. I have a lot of mold making, casting videos, other videos, cosplay related videos, and if I didn't cover anything or I missed something, you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Alright, so I would like to give a big shout out to my supporters. which have really helped me overall in this year. And this month's shout outs go to Kate, which has donated a big $50 on my Twitch page. Also Cassio, which has also donated $50, and Holden, which has donated $20. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. Also, I would like to thank Nicholas, who is a tier 3 sub of my Twitch channel. And also, don't forget everyone else who subbed to me this month. Thank you so much. Here's everybody who subbed to me. Really appreciate it. If you would like to support my page, go ahead and head over to my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/KikiKannon, where I stream live working in my studio and we have fun, and I can answer questions and show you guys how to do things.